3x, leaving you with 6x minus 1. Second parenthesis, so you take out a positive 4, so that's plus 4, leaving you with 6x minus 1. So remember, these two parentheses had to be the same if you're doing this correctly. So then you have 3x plus 4. Where do those two terms go? They're going to go together in a parenthesis. This is the reverse of the double distribution. And that'd be your answer. You've factored it out. Because now you have two things that multiply to what you started off with. You have factored it, and you can't go any further. You've taken all the common factors out of it. And it's going to be an important part is making sure you go as far as you can. You factor until you can't factor anymore. Some of these will be multiple steps. Okay, what about if they just give you a trinomial? Makes you want to go crying to your mama? So this is where we did this. So we have the multiply is from there, and the add, there's the ma. So what's 1 times 32? So we're looking for numbers that multiply to 32, and they have to add to negative 12. Multiply to 32, add to negative 12. Yes, what happens to your characters when you get to negative numbers?
No.
Do they vaporize?
No. I was like 8 years old. I mean, we didn't work with negative numbers. So
You're 16 now?
Yeah.
You could have figured out your story by now.
Negative 1 per day.
They're the ghosts.
I'm never going to tell anyone.
Ghost of those people.
No.
You tell anybody else.
We'll tell the world.
I don't know. I just
Come
stopped.
on, no. You gotta keep the story going. I like it. Okay, so we get negative 8, negative 4. Does it matter the order in which you write them down? No. No. These two numbers will come back, and we split the middle with those two numbers. The first term, we get x squared minus 8x minus 4x plus 32. So you take those two numbers, they're going to split the middle with those two numbers. All right, Caitlin. Now, how many terms do we have? Oh, look what we know what to do now. Okay. We just did it. You have 4 terms. You have the first 2 and the last 2. You take an x out of the first one. What do you take out of the second one? Negative 4. Depending on how you write them, either negative 4 or negative 8, depending on how you wrote your first 2, your middle terms. Okay. Your 2 parentheses should be the same. The answer would be x minus 4 times x minus 8, or x minus 8 times x minus 4. The order there does not matter. And when there's a 1 in front of the x squared, start looking for shortcuts on how to do those. Clear as mud? Let's do another one. 2x squared plus 7x minus 30. here, your numbers have to multiply to what? Remember to take the first times the last. So your numbers have to multiply to negative 60 in this case. And they have to add to 7. Okay. Teach like all the shortcuts kind of fit every single form. So still kind of working through it. I'll just get back to you. Sure. I didn't realize it until after I graduated and I came back to high school how much I had to relearn myself, but it's easy. It wasn't just not that I knew how to do this process, I knew the math now. What made this happen. And a lot of times when you have to work it out the wrong way, you have a little misunderstanding of what's going on. Doing a robot. Oh, this is what I do when I see this problem. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Negative 5 and 12. Those two numbers. If you have one negative, one positive, I do recommend putting the negative number first. You don't have to. It's a recommendation. You got it good. People still writing down. Any part of that process you need me to go over slower, or again, not slower, but again. Page 3x squared minus 12x minus 63. Okay, multiple steps. So here, remind you again, to use that first step of factoring. Always the first step is to look for that greatest common factor. Okay. Our goal here is to factor these things completely. So go until we can't find anything else that would multiply to what you have. So if there is a common factor, which in this case, does 3 go into all of those? So if there is a common factor, you want to divide that out to the front right away. That gives you smaller numbers to work with. Otherwise, you're trying to find something that multiplies to negative 189 and adds to negative 12. That doesn't sound as enjoyable as what you would have. And that being multiplying to negative 21 and adding to negative 4. it's sometimes long for me because I can do these right away in my head. Write it out. Yeah. Does that 3 you divide out, is that part of your answer still? Or do you just ignore it and then you're done with it? Still part of your answer. Because you divided it out, so that means it is a factor. It should end up with x minus 7 times x plus 3 when you're done. And with the 3 out in front. Is that okay? A few more. Okay, something a little different. X squared minus 25. We're going to go through this a long way first. So what's missing on this one? That middle term, right? So what is the b? What is that middle term if we don't have to write it down? What number could it be? So here you can rewrite this as x squared plus 0x minus 25. X squared plus 0x minus 25. So then what are your two? You're looking for things that multiply to but now they have to add to 0. So multiplying negative 25, adding to 0. So if you have two numbers that add to 0, what do you know about those two numbers? One is negative and one is positive. What do we call the two numbers if they add to 0? Two numbers, yes. Opposites. Opposites. Okay, so they have to be opposite. So if you have two numbers adding to 0, those two numbers will have to be opposites. So what two numbers are they? 5 and 5. Keep that in your mind as we go towards our answer here. We do want to figure out a shortcut to this.
I know what the negative numbers are. The evil twin.
Ooh, I like it. The battle between good and evil.
Wait, Anjo, the zero is in the middle.
So the evil
Two
seven
zeros.
is
The zero god or something like that.
What? Nobody.
What did you say?
The zero. The evil twin. He trying to steal 7
Oh.
What about infinity?
Zero is the hole where the numbers can go to the other side.
It's a portal.
Yeah. it's close. It looks open.
This
Nah,
is where
they ever feel like a
8-year-old
bottle in there.
story.
I think so too. I would buy it.
When I was like 10 years old, I wrote a story between a war between numbers and letters, and I
You
won
still
a
have
prize
that?
for it
You still have it?
somewhere.
Should translate it, then let me read it.
Yeah, I was like, you can try to read it.
Google Translate. Okay. All right. Thanks for getting us off topic there. See your examples you get. Okay.